Never accept less from an employer because you need a job. What you need to do is you need to get that side hustle going. Hey, it's me, Sean, one more time again with Side Hustle Inspiration. Thanks so much for tuning in today. You know, there's a lot of good working class people out here that are trying to make that successful transition from employee to entrepreneur, but in between that transition, they're also striving to change and get a better paying job because the truth is you need to keep your rent paid or your mortgage, you need to keep food in the refrigerator, and you need to keep your utility bills paid so you can keep a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and keep the lights on. Completely understand. People are transitioning in between jobs, and some employers will notice that a person is unemployed in the moment and they will possibly try to pull some fast ones, or they'll look at that potential job candidate in a certain type of light and talk to them, in a certain tone of voice or use certain kind of word plays. It doesn't add up. So today I want to just talk about a little bit of everything. When you are in the job market looking for another job and working on a side hustle at the same time, that's a personal test of your faith. It's a test of your faith, your perseverance, and also where you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years. Regardless what happens, whether you're currently on a job that's paying you a can of beans, whether you've been wrongfully terminated, whether you're looking for another job and you're you're contemplating whether you should just take the first thing smoking, or whatever it is, don't accept less from an employer because you might be looking for a better paying job. One of the things that you should do as a person who's working on a side hustle and potentially in between jobs is set standards for yourself. Setting standards for yourself puts you in a certain mindset, what you will settle for and what you won't settle for. One of the things that you shouldn't settle for is an employer who is just looking to hire you and not pay you any benefits. Look at this. An employer that is only looking to pay you X and X amount of dollars without being open to a salary negotiation is only looking to hire bodies. So you have to learn to see the warning signs, the red flags ahead of time before achieving gainful employment with that employer. If an employer is only willing to pay X and X amount of dollars per hour with no benefits, whether it's a government organization, whether it's a private business, and you have a lot of experience doing what you do as a craft, whether it's sales, whether it's technology, information technology related stuff, whether you have experience in web coding, whether you have experience in human resource management. If you feel you're worth, let's say, $100,000 annually, and you're unwilling to budge from that, okay, you have the qualifications on your resume, you have the experience, you have the degree, you have potentially the SHRM, human resource certification. You've done everything that's required to command this $100,000 salary. And a prospective employer contacts you and they interview you, and everything sounds good during the interview, but it boils down to, let's talk about the salary. Let's talk about the salary. If you're asking for $100,000 and they're only willing to, I'm just throwing this as a scenario, they're only willing to give you a starting salary of $65,000, you need to walk away. Don't settle for that job because you need a job. No, you have standards for yourself. So you take that disappointment during the interview, and after the interview of feeling burned, you now wasted your time. You went through the motions, you filled out the application, you spoke with the person face to face, you know, and they're like, we're not budging from 65. Don't be rude, because they're unwilling to switch from the 65 and become negotiable. They're non-negotiable on the 65. They're firm. What you need to do is you need to take that disappointment and continue building your business, because truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter how many college degrees or relevant experience that you have on your resume. No employer will ever truly pay you what you feel you're worth, unless you are a politician or some sort of federal government employee working in Washington, D.C., or you are a CEO of a bank, something, or perhaps a scientist working for one of the major pharmaceutical companies. That's just, to me, in my personal opinion, that's just facts. You're not going to get the money as you want. This is why I stress the importance of believing enough in yourself and building a side hustle. Because the side hustle, there is no cap in your earnings. Your side hustle allows you to use your creativity and do something you love as a passion project. And as a passion project, you're doing work, but you're literally not doing work, because this is something that you're doing on days that you potentially don't make money from in the infancy of building your side hustle from the ground floor up. Another thing that you shouldn't settle for from an employer is, when interviewing on a job, okay, they may potentially work with you in terms of the salary that you're asking for. However, if that job does not offer benefits, don't go to work for them. Because what if something happens on that job and you go to file workman's compensation? Number one, you already know the employer is going to fight it. Number two, they're going to point out in court that you already agreed from Jump Street to have this job with no benefits. So that's definitely going to work against you if you file a workman's comp lawsuit. This is another reason why you should not settle for less from employers and continue believing in yourself to build a side hustle, because with a side hustle, not only are you doing something that you love and faith, building from the ground floor up, you're setting yourself up to benefit later down the road. This is why a lot of people don't prosper in this line of work, because they're looking for instant profit. You have to look at build today, reap all of your fruitful rewards down the road, years to come. How would you feel if you work on a passion project today online, a side hustle, later down the road, years to come, you don't need a job anymore because you started back there. You're waking up to money in the morning. You're getting paid to go to sleep. All of the fruits of your labor that you've invested online from years ago, whether it's in affiliate marketing, blogging, vlogging on YouTube, running multiple pay-per-click campaigns, all that stuff is paying off down the road, but you stuck it out. Now you can look back and say, I never need a job again. I don't need to work for nobody. I ain't got to worry about no benefits. I ain't got to worry about asking for a pay raise. I ain't got to worry about this. I ain't got to worry about that, because I did the work back there and I stayed focused. I had that tunnel vision. Folks, the side hustle lifestyle, this affiliate marketing stuff, this is here to stay until the end of time. It's amazing. And as soon as I start a video, people start showing up. And earlier, a man went to walk close by. Every time I pull out this camera, man, people are just wanting to come around. But when you need somebody for something, ain't nobody there. Now they coming closer because they probably want to be nosy and see what's going on. I'm just keeping it 100 on here. All right, going forward. So another thing that you don't settle for from an employer is this. You command a certain salary from an employer, and they give you an online assessment to take, right? This employer keeps contacting you, they're telling you things are good, and they contact you back and they tell you, okay, go and take the assessment. But you've already made it clear before you go to take the online assessment that, okay, I need a certain salary and I need benefits to go along with that, and we need the potential to grow with the company, potential for advancement. You make all of these things clear, right? The potential employer or staffing agency allegedly wastes your time by giving you a link to take the online assessment. Now, they've been inconsistent in staying in contact with you for a couple of weeks. And while you're looking for work in the moment, they finally contact you back when they allegedly think it's convenient for them. So they reply back and it's, we're having some conversation and everything is all good. But yet they talk to you in a certain tone of voice and you pick it up a little bit. Now you pick up that little certain tone of voice and this is like, okay, this don't sound right. If an employer tells you that, okay, this is your last chance to secure this position, and I'm going to send you a link to take an online assessment. And because they said, now typically you could walk away from an employer and just ignore it because they talked to you in that certain tone of voice and then they told you, okay, this is your last chance. But just to go through that challenge, okay, I'm going to eat that. I'm going to take the online assessment and just go through this to see what becomes of it. Not just what becomes of it, but to gain that experience of, okay, I'm getting ready to be rejected. How am I going to deal with this and use this as a profitable experience to build my side hustle? So you go and take this online assessment. You did it. You answered the questions truthfully to the best of your ability. Now, mind you, I left a piece of this out. Prior to taking the assessment, you told the company that you previously took the assessment and that there are questions in there that don't pertain to you. So you quit the assessment because those questions don't pertain to you, but yet that staffing agency or that company needs bodies in their facility to fill open positions. So they contact you back again and ask you to take the assessment, and then in a certain tone of voice they say, this is your last chance. Number one, they don't value you. Number two, the staffing agency or the company potentially does that because they want to feel the satisfaction of rejecting you. Because you told them back there, I'm not going to finish the assessment because there's certain questions in there that don't pertain to you. And that you're not going to answer the question a certain way just to get the job because you don't feel it pertains to you. No, I'm not that type of person. No, that doesn't pertain to my character. I'm not going to answer that question to, potentially get a job interview because I could answer that question the wrong way and then you get the satisfaction of still rejecting me. So you go and take this assessment again and answer the questions to the best of your ability. You still get rejected. What you need to do is continue building the side hustle. A lot of people would get angry and they would feel discouraged. They would feel down. They would feel disappointed. Man, they kept reaching out to me. Man, I'm trying to get this job. What's wrong with me? There ain't nothing wrong with you. It's allegedly them. So I'm telling you this because things like this happen. Okay? The fact of the matter is, if a company is willing to allegedly go out of their way to get satisfaction in rejecting someone because they heard from back there that the same job applicant was unwilling to complete the assessment because the questions in the assessment were not only redundant, but also that the questions don't pertain to them, then you need to start a business. That's just facts. Working for someone else today just doesn't cut the mustard. You should work for someone else for the purpose of building your own business. Because truth is, you can have a college degree, you can have a high school diploma, heck, you could have a PhD. If someone on that job doesn't like you, your boss, your coworkers, they're gonna start discussing you in private. And if you're not a unionized employee, they're gonna contemplate and they're gonna plot on your employment. You could be with the company 20, 30, going on retirement. They will plot on you so that they mess up your retirement and have your pension and all of your benefits taken away. This is why you need to get out of working for someone else for the next 20 or 30 years and making them really, really rich. And you need to get in the mindset of staying consistent with building your side hustle so you can get really, really rich. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? The true financial security is in building your own entity online, doing something that you love, that you see yourself doing 10, 20, 30 years later. Imagine getting up and having the ability to work on your side hustle passion project 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you not having to worry about money. A lot of people stay on their jobs and they settle for less from their employers because they're worried about making it to retirement and earning a little bit of can of beans in a pension check. Now, I'm not totally for, let's say, a person that's been on a job 20, 25 years to start a side hustle, make $1 million, and then quit because your retirement's right around the corner. I would tell you, stay on the job until you retire because you're probably going to retire in the next 2 to 3 years. What are you going to throw all of that away for? You came this far. Stay on the job. But a side hustle ensures another stream of alternative, steady, passive income. These employers are out here acting reckless. Let me tell you something else. If an employer calls you after submitting a resume online and you have the credentials and you have what it takes to have that job, you have to listen. First off, you have to listen to an employer's tone of voice. Set your standards at a certain level. In other words, level up. That's what I'm telling you. Level up. Know what to accept and know what not to accept from an employer. The way these a majority, not all, let me take that back, not all employers, but most employers act today, that should subliminally inspire you to start a business because, one, like I said, you're not going to get paid what you feel you're worth. You can have a college degree. You might want $30 an hour from an employee. You have the relevant experience. You have the certification. You have the certificate, degree, or whatever it is. An employer isn't even, I'll give you 19. Nah, you don't settle for that because you need a job, or you take that $19 an hour until something else comes along. No, because once you settle for that $19 an hour job and you know you're worth 30, then you just settle for less. That puts you in another mindset without you even consciously thinking about that. Don't settle for less. Build that side hustle. Now, if you submit a resume online, an employer talks to you in a certain type of tone. Oh, hi. Let me give you an example. Hi, this is so and so calling from so and so company. I just wanted to call and see if you still want it. You still want the job? Yeah. All right, I'll send you over the application to fill out. All right, bye. Click. You better not fill out that application. You better continue creating content for your blog or website, and there's a way to profit off of that. If an employer calls you and they talk to you, they don't have time to talk to you about the company, and if they don't ask you, could you tell me a little bit about yourself and your experience and what you specialize in? Do you have a degree? Can you talk a little bit about your degree? If that employer doesn't take, oh, hi, this is such and such. Just wanted to call and see, you still want the job? All right, I'll send the application over. All right, is your email address so-and-so and so-and-so? Yeah, all right, I'll send it over. Bye. You better not settle for sloppy seconds and fill out that application, because you know what? Just from that employer's attitude on the phone, they don't deserve you. Number one. Number two, they're not going to give you the salary you're looking for. That's a person that's going to give you pushback. So you better not even waste your time or waste your breath. Number 3, if you are currently a content creator and you experience something like that, then what you can do is you can profit off of that employer by creating content for your blog or website discussing this experience and telling people, hey, this is, in so many words, this is something to look out for. Don't settle for this from a prospective employer. If they talk to you in a certain tone and they just call you and say, hey, you still want the job? You still interested? All right, I'm going to send you over the application to fill out. All right, bye. Then you would create content for your blog or website discussing that. And when you have that content monetized with ads from affiliate partners and, let's say, AdSense or any other contextual ad network, you can use that experience to put yourself in the driver's seat to benefit from passive income. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, because a lot of employers are not looking at the fact that the way they're treating some of these potential job applicants is actually profitable to the job applicant that they potentially think less of. And they don't know that a lot of these job applicants are digital nomads or content creators, and a creative content marketer, digital nomad, can actually take that experience and make a lot of money just by discussing it and by showing other people, hey, don't settle for this. And if an employer talks to you or treats you like this, this is how you should react. Number 1, don't fill out the online application. Number 2, create content for your blog or website, YouTube channel, or whatever. Number 3, discuss this on social media. So this way, you benefit from it financially. I have a whole lot more stuff to talk about, so you might as well stick around. Remember, a job means just over broke. A side hustle and changing the way you think will liberate you from the job mindset. A side hustles, or this is the line of work that they don't teach you in school, because school is a place to institutionalize your mind to work and keep the system going. It's never too late to become a peculiar person and break away from that type of thinking. This is why I made this channel for good working class people, to inspire them to change the history of their human thought process and take the side hustle lifestyle seriously. Yes, if you apply yourself wholeheartedly to this line of work and working from home or on the go as a digital nomad, yes, you can become a millionaire. But this is no Bernard Madoff Ponzi scheme. This is no get-rich-quick operation. There's a lot of work involved. And yes, you can get really, really rich. But it's up to you to make the first initial action step and get started. Don't let any rejection from an employer, whether it's wrongful termination or not getting the job, don't let it bring you down up here. You believe in yourself and keep building your business, because you know what? If you stay faithful and build your business despite any type of mind games that an employer plays, guess what? It's them that loses in the long run. They find out you became a millionaire? A millionaire? Do you know how an employer's going to feel? And oh, by the way, if an employer, I don't know if I remember saying this, if an employer offers you a job with the less than salary that you're looking for and no benefits, and after 6 months they start dwindling down your pay by another $500, don't work for them. Don't. Because then they're going to say, oh, your commission outweighs your salary, that's why we're dwindling down your check. The older you get, the more benefits you need on your job if you choose to stay on it. So don't settle for a job that's not paying benefits. And I don't care if it's working for a private family business or working for a government organization. Do not settle for a job that's not paying benefits. Everyone needs medical and dental. Everyone needs some form of insurance that if I get hurt on the job or something happens to me, I need benefits to cover me. That's the whole purpose of working for someone. Don't let nobody get rich off of you and they're not doing anything for you besides giving you a check. All right, this is Sean. Hopefully I gave you something to think about. This is Side Hustle Inspiration, where I inspire you once again to change the history of your human thought process and going from working class to a full-time entrepreneur. Thank you so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more to come. Peace. And don't forget to subscribe either that way or that way. All right. Ciao, Bella. Out.